So I am on my way to somewhere called Waskesiu. Waskesiu. Now I'm going for two reasons. One, I am going to be scouting out a location for Angie and I to celebrate our 5-year anniversary. That's 5 years that we've been married. Number two, sometimes I just need to get away. Now, Angie's been bugging me to get away for a few weeks. I keep saying, no, we have kids, we can't be doing that. I can't just up and at it leave. Well, I was driving her so crazy, she kicked me out of the house for the day. So I am going to Waskesiu. Waskesiu. I'm actually halfway there already. Actually, I'm more than halfway there. I'm about probably 3/4 of the way there. So anyway, let's go. One of the most important things in my life has been the outdoors. That is my time that I celebrate just God's creation. I celebrate life. I celebrate I just celebrate everything. I just love the outdoors. My most intimate times with God and the times that I get the most creativity is when I'm outdoors. So frankly, I'm excited. This is a very, very, very fun moment for me to be alone in Waskesiu. Waskesiu. Hi. Doing good. How about yourself? Yeah, just me. So do you actually know French?
I do, yes.
Do you have to know French to work here?
You don't have to know French. They do prefer bilinguals because they always have to have someone scheduled who's bilingual.
Nice.
So they usually stick us at the gates or at the campgrounds, yeah.
Comes in handy then. Thank you.
Sure does.
Merci.
Yeah.
Au revoir. I'm in. Look at this. I am convinced that Saskatchewan is easily the most underrated province in all of Canada. I mean, come on, look at that. Holy moly, I'm gonna get soaked. Look at this. Look at this. Woohoo! Alright! Alright. I feel so relaxed right now. Treebeard. The name Treebeard sounds pretty cool. Sounds like something out of Lord of the Rings. Maybe I'll see an Ent. Ooh, squirrel. Hi there, little squirrely. He's my friend. Hey, that's how rude. He seems kind of grumpy. So when I started House Creative, it was supposed to be a way for me to make some side income while I attended Bible college. I was already married. I was expecting my first child, my son, and Tim Hortons just wasn't really appealing to me. I had already had, what did I have at the time? 7 or 8 years of design experience. I realized, hey, maybe I can translate that into maybe a side business. The thing that I didn't realize was that I was essentially starting a full-size business. That meant I had to register it. That meant I had to pay tax. You know, there's income tax, there's GST, PST, which is essentially sales tax. There are other operating expenses. All of that I had to put into consideration. Mind you, I'm broke at this time. And honestly, I was broke most of the time. It wasn't until I think 6 months in that I had my first real client, and it was a sweet feeling getting that first check from my first client to do my first project. Whoa, hold that thought. Look at that. Whoa. Shh, Scott, you're disturbing the wildlife. Okay, now what would be really cool is if that tree right there, is if there was like a black bear climbing it, and it all of a sudden just waved at me, and I just went, "Hello, black bear, hello." This is pretty cool. All right, it's time to go back down. Anyway, where was I? Oh, yeah. Hey, that squirrel has a friend. Man, they're all just grumpy. It was this really awesome feeling getting that first check. Now, what hit me like a ton of sour grapes, is that a saying? Ton of sour grapes. What hit me like a ton of bricks, that's the saying. Oh, I look like a bear. What hit me like a ton of bricks was the fact that right after you get that first check, you have to do the work. You have to do the work. So, that's the part I didn't do great on. My consistency was awful. My follow through was pretty weak. I mean, don't get me wrong, I got the work done. We got the work done. When I say we, my wife and I, we both did it together. And, you know, all's well that ends well, but I didn't necessarily have the happiest clients because I just hadn't learned that key piece of business, which is consistency. So, you know, this video, I wasn't sure where I was going to go with this, but I think I know now. Where I'm trying to go with this video is this. If I knew then what I know now, I probably would have done business a bit differently, starting with this. I would have spent the first, honestly, probably 6 months building strong processes and systems. Now, I served in the Montana Army National Guard. That's for my Canadian friends, it's the reserves. It's a little bit different. We actually go to the same basic training that the active duty folks go to. We have the same training that they do. It's just every so often we, you know, once we're done with all that training, we then just go 1 week in a month, right? So that's basically the difference. Otherwise, it's the same standards, it's the same processes, it's the same rules. The thing that the Army was really good at was processes and systems. There was a rule and a process for everything, down to what haircut to get, you know, regulations to how to make your bed. There's an actual like Army regulation about how to make a bed. There's all that stuff. If I had taken what I had learned in the military and applied it to my business, I would have had a very strict business. Now, you can't like copy everything. Like I can't be telling, you know, people as soon as they walk in and I hire them, for example, you need to have no facial hair on your face. That would be kind of weird. But the level of organization, I probably would have flourished more. But I went into business kind of hand soloing it, just going, no big deal, I'll wing it. And it did okay the first time, did not so great the second time, almost completely botched a project the third time. And that's probably one of my biggest regrets. Number 2, as soon as I got paid, I probably would have put it aside. You know, one of the things that we did was we took, you know, we were very behind on bills most of the time because, you know, I had no income. You know, we get a client, we get a decent check, and then we have to pay our bills. So that check was gone like that. What I would have done instead was maybe paid the most important bills and then kept working at getting more clients, doing good work, being consistent, we'll get to that in a second, and spent slower. I unfortunately did not do that, and it was hills and valleys on steroids. It's something that I deeply regret is, you know, I wish I spread that money out more. The third thing was consistency. You know, it goes back to having strong processes and systems. I would have been much more consistent with communication. I would have been more consistent with my deadlines, and I would have been more consistent with how I hold to my schedule. Okay, I think number 4, I probably wouldn't have hired as soon as I did. I would have done the work better, like myself more. I had this idea going straight into business that I wanted to scale quickly. So as soon as I got a bit of work or a bit of money, I was like, hey, well, I guess work comes with money. I was like, hey, let's hire and scale even faster. I will delegate the work and we'll grow even more. Yeah, that totally worked out. Not. I hired staff. I actually hired staff, not even just freelancers. I hired staff. And that was just heartbreaking because here we are, you know, 5 months in, I'm promising more work, and that's a promise I couldn't even hold because, you know, we're going through life struggles. My daughter had a skull condition that required a really intense surgery right in the middle of hiring people, and I couldn't hold to that promise. I was not ready for the valley that I was about to put all those people through, and I hired 3 different people. Yeah, 3 different people. If I knew then what I know now about hiring people, I would have waited until I was flooded with work and there was no way around it. The thing that I want to say here is that if all of those things were grouped together all simultaneously, then I feel like what I mean by grouped together simultaneously is if I was consistent, if my time management skills were good, if my financial skills were better, and I waited to hire, it would have probably worked fine. I would have had more referrals. I would have had more, you know, of course, just more work, and I would have had more joy. And I feel like I would have probably honored God in a better way. Hindsight is 20/20, is that what they say? You know, I can't hold on to these regrets. That's not really healthy. I still kind of want to learn from them. Those are things that I wish I had known, and of course, if I had known then I wouldn't have gone on the journey. I wouldn't know what I know now, and I wouldn't be able to make a video telling you the stuff to avoid. If you know, of course, go through life without, you know, with a huge amount of fear about making mistakes, then you probably won't accomplish anything either. You know, that whole hindsight is 20/20 thing, I love that because I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. I have no idea what's gonna happen next week or next month or next year. All I know is the stuff that I know now, and that I can trust in God. I can be a good steward of my business, of my life, of my family, of everything I have, and focus on the stuff that's right in front of me, including making a YouTube video. That's something that I committed to, making one every single week. I failed last week, I didn't make it, so this is the video now. I will try better, I'll keep on working on it and be more consistent. That's all I can promise, is to keep on trying. So I guess it's time, almost time to get out of here. I still have to find a camping spot, so let's go ahead and try to find one.